Hey Virgo, welcome to your October reading. Today we're going to be focusing on a spread called Manifest Your Best Self by Emerald Lotus Divinations. You can find their spreads on Pinterest. Also, just to find other spreads, BD Tarot. Anyway, before we get off into it, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. I'm loving the interaction. I want a bit more of it. And yeah, I'm trying to build this channel. So please like, share, and get, tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe to Empress Vibrance channel. Yeah, let's connect. And for personal readings, because obviously this is more general. For more personal reading, all the information will be in the description box below. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get on into it. One moment, let me just put my phone on Do Not Disturb, because what happens is when I least expect it, a call comes through, and I'm just not trying to hear that anymore. Yeah. So, all right. So, like I said, this is a spread that is called How to Manifest Your Best Self. This is a seven card spread. However, a few extra cards have come out, and we just have to go with the energy of it all. So we're going to work out what it is that you need to do to work towards your best self. So first and foremost, let's go and start off with position one, which is your current state. So the current state, Virgo, is Virgo energy, which is the Hermit. So for some of you, you guys are stepping back. You are taking some time for yourself. This is introspection. This is the time that you need to work out what you want to do without having so many opinions of others, without seeking so much counsel. This is you standing on your own to making your decisions known and following through on them. And then for some of you, this energy is about healing. For some of you, are healing for a very tough time, and going into yourself and taking this time on your own is helping you to work out what the next move is, how to, what to do next. What can I bring? What experiences can I bring, or what wisdom can I bring to my experiences? Okay, from all of the stuff that you've currently gone through, Virgo. So for some of you, this is about isolating yourself. For some people, you actually want to be away from the outside world. There's a lot of stress and anxiety around what is currently happening within our society. So maybe this is the reason for wanting to stay more inside, for fear of health risks. Also, just not having to deal with the bigger issue of the collective energy of fear, worry that has come up in recent times through the virus and other such negative situations, conversations, what have you. So that's your current state. Your current state is a Virgo energy, which is about being the hermit, taking your time, staying indoors, being more introspective. It's all about taking time for yourself while you're healing. A lot of thinking is going on, and a lot of realigning who you are. Where's my place in the world? So second position, number two, is what are the blocks? What is blocking you, Virgo, from being your best self? So we have the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is synonymous with spiritual growth and ascension. It's about, for some of you, this is about religion. It's about being more intentional about practicing your religion or a faith or a way of life that helps you to heal through these difficult times. And if you can see the steps here, that this man's sense of being, his mind, his being needs to be at. This is the ascension that is going on. This is the joy that he's feeling in his face. This is because he understands that there is a force greater than himself. When the Hierophant is here, it might even, because it's in the block position, it may be that you haven't really been leaning upon your spiritual strength or any religious strength. And maybe this is towards what the block is, because if you don't subscribe to a higher power, when you have your dips in vibration or you drop, it's very hard to kickstart yourself without the knowledge that you're not in this alone, and that there's powers that are in and around you that can support you moving forward and triumph, and being triumphant over this feeling of not wanting to be seen or not wanting to engage with people and just spending that time alone. For some of you, this is real isolation from people. And for some of you, this is just the healing that you need. You need to do this on your own. Okay. So, yeah, spiritualism or lack thereof, or communion, fellowship, maybe all of these things that spiritual practices and traditions can help you with, maybe because of this energy, um, or lack thereof. Maybe that's why at times it feels very difficult to get over a hurdle. Okay, so the blockage is some type of spiritual, religious, or traditional ceremonies, practices, participation. Yeah. So if you start looking into those things, how to raise your vibrations, by asking the universe and becoming a bit more inward, um, yeah, it won't be such a block for you. But I can feel that it's quite heavy and there's a bit of confusion going on in the hermit energy. So what have you overcome? So Virgo, what have you overcome? 3 cards came out for this one. So what have you overcome? We've got the 4 of Pentacles. So what have you overcome? Could you possibly be in a bit of a skinflint? What's another way to say it? Frugal, maybe too frugal, stingy, or maybe you're overcoming the need to hoard and to hold on to money, acting as though it's not going to come back. Or maybe you've overcome overspending and you're realizing that you need to be a bit more conscious about what you're spending on, whether they are beneficial purchases like power purchases, things that you invest in yourself, or are they things that you could really do without? So maybe you're overcoming, for there's quite a few groups of you. There's some of you holding onto the purse strings, and holding onto the purse strings is not going to help too much if you are nervous that you won't make that money back. Money must circulate so that it comes right back to you. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with saving, but holding on for dear life and feeling like you can't move is not the best energy. So it looks like for some of you, you've overcome that hoarding. Oh my gosh, how am I going to make ends meet? And that type of energy halts abundance. So yeah, so it looks like for some of you, you've overcome being a penny pincher. For some of you, overspending and not thinking about your future. Maybe you've overcome that and you're starting to be a lot more mindful about how you're spending your money and your time and your efforts, because pentacles are about stability, finances, career, and things of that nature, work, projects coming together. So maybe you've been really, hanging on to a idea of a specific industry that you want to work in, or a specific program that you want to run. And maybe you just might need to be a little bit more open in your approach. Okay, so what else have you overcome? So we've got the King of Swords. The King of Swords is an energy of getting things done, cutting the BS. What doesn't need to be there gets cut and thrown away. He knows exactly what to do, why he wants to do it. He can be very, very cutting though, and somewhat underhanded. The King of Swords can be quite abusive, can be quite manipulative. So maybe you're coming out of dealing with somebody who's quite manipulative, quite cutting in their approach, or maybe you're overcoming this particular energy, or overcoming not cutting away the things that you need to cut away at. Okay, so for some of you, this is about stepping away from being yeah, being too demanding, or having to deal with someone who's demanding and quite manipulative emotionally as well. Definitely some emotional manipulation I can feel here. And maybe that's the reason why you're holding, or you're holding on to whatever you have. Maybe for some of you, you're holding on to your pentacles for a rainy day. For some of you, this could be the escape. For some of you, this is your plan for the future, what you're going to do after this situation. Okay, we also got the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles has all her ducks in a row. She is one of those queens who makes sure that everybody around her is eating and all is well. Children are well. The household is running well. She takes care of herself. Look at this woman in her piece. I've got all my ish sorted. I'm just going to relax in the energy. Look at that piece that you see on her face while she's holding her pentacle. Not clutching it like it's going to be going anywhere, but rather being thankful for all of the opportunities that come into her life. And remember, these are not gender specific, so they're interchangeable. Just because there's kings doesn't mean it's man, and just because it's queens doesn't mean it's women. It's interchangeable. It's just energy. So read it that way and take it as it resonates, and leave what doesn't, because this is very, very general. And if you want a more personal reading, the information is in the description box below. Right, so we know that, to recap, we have the Hermit as the current state, time for yourself, possible isolation. We have the blockage as the Hierophant, some type of spiritual or religious order is not being utilized, or similarly, it could be the fact that maybe there's too much of this influence and there's not enough movement, there's not enough scope for growth and development. Maybe you're just used to having one thought pattern or one religious practice, but as you're evolving, you're realizing that these practices are not serving you, it's not giving you enough, it's not got the meat and potatoes, as it were, that people say. Not really meat, but we'll find another analogy outside of meat. But either way, it is not filling or not fulfilling. So yeah, there's that. And then also what you'll overcome is your fear of overspending, um, or your fear of not having, overspending, um, and just hanging on for things of their life. So this is either in the reverse, it's either holding on to money, being a bit too frugal, penny pincher, or similarly, you're overcoming the fact that you never had no control over your spending. You're being more mindful now. You're cutting away at the things that don't serve anymore and going for what you really, really deserve. And then also similarly, for some of you, this is a really tough energy that you've already dealt with. You dealt with someone who was quite manipulative. They were quite cutthroat in their way that they behaved with you. It was quite cold. That's what the King of Swords can be like. Although he's definitely about collaborating and bringing stuff together, but definitely cutting away at the BS. So take it as it resonates. For some of you, this is your energy and you've overcome being somebody who was quite manipulative and just quite cold in your approach. And lastly, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So maybe the overcoming is about maybe overcoming the need. Yeah, I feel like you've overcome the worry of lack, of micromanaging, because as well, similarly, when this card is in reverse, it talks about someone who's micromanages and is always sort of nitpicking at things, can be a little bit overbearing. So maybe these are some of the traits that you are coming out of, realizing, especially if you've had time to really reflect on yourself. Maybe these are the things that you've learned. Okay, so in the fourth position, we have the new energy. So your new energy is the Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles is synonymous with charitable giving. It's about, if you can see that exchange here, that's charitable giving, deciding who can get your time, money, effort, energy. So maybe because you have been in your hermit mode, maybe you're more open. The new energy is that you're more open to connect and to support where you can. This could be charitable giving. This could also be gifting somebody something. This could be investing in some type of business that helps support somebody. This could be investing in equipment, anything that's tangible. But it's synonymous with charitable giving. So this is something you're giving from your heart, but you're also weighing up who deserves to get what, and when. And that's a better place than just being on your own and not allowing for, it's not even about that. It's not even about the hermit. I feel like it's to do with, yeah, because I feel like the hermit mode, the current state, I think maybe the fact that the current state is the hermit mode, maybe you are not fully utilizing all of the gifts that's at play here. So we're moving out of that. So you're at this stage now feeling like, you know, you want to draw back. You're just going to take your time. For some of you, this is isolation, like I said. But this Six of Pentacles makes me know that there's a desire to give, to support. Maybe you see something in somebody's project and you want to support it, or you want to invest or pay for a service that somebody offers. All of those things are ways to give energetically, and obviously physically, because pentacles are physical things. Yeah, so at least you're moving towards openness, weighing up who's going to get what, that type of energy. So that's really lovely. So the the fifth position is the first step that you can take to be the better you. So it's about paying attention to your dreams. We've got the moon. Pay attention to your moon, to your dreams, and also the moon. Yeah. So find out where your placements are. There's a new full moon. See how that will affect you in your charts. But also feel within this first step of moving towards the best you is mainly about balancing and coming to terms with your emotions. We know that the hermit mode has meant that we needed to step back. There's a lot of water here, as you can see, and a lot of water. This person's above the water and this one's underneath. This person's immersed in it. So the first thing you can do is to address the emotions, address what types of messages you're getting from your dreams, the gut feelings, that intuition. What is it saying? What is being pointed out to you? What is it that you need to pay attention to in regards to creating? What are you creating? And being more mindful about that, that's just going to keep propelling you forward. So if you are getting dreams, journal them, even if you've got to put them down into bullet points, and then later on you can write in what you can remember. But there is key things that are going on within your dream space, or when you are in a meditative space. Maybe you jot down a reflection after what came up for you when you were meditating, or whether, you know, where you were in a different headspace. Okay, so the second step that you can take to work towards being the best you is the Chariot. If you can see the movement that is going on here, that's that willpower, determination to get things done. Working through the emotions, making sure you're reconnecting with source, will give you all of the momentum that you need to work towards what you want. Look at this momentum of these horses, and look at the young man on top of the carriage, going at a great speed. towards what it is that he's going towards, whatever destination, whatever dreams, aspirations that he's going towards. He's going towards it wholeheartedly. And it's all about this will, the will to carry on, the will to succeed, the will to carry on in the midst of disappointment, heartbreak, shock. Because for some of you, something came up unawares, you didn't see it coming. Yeah. How this man looks on the horizon, if you can see this. Like just looking up at his destination, looking forward, looking very hopeful and determined. That's the energy. That's the energy. Take time to deal with the emotions, be gentle and kind to yourself. And then take some action. I love it. This is the willpower and the determination. This is where you get the motivation from. Okay. And then last but not least, best self, what does a best self look like for Virgo? Page of Wands, baby. Page of Wands is about getting stuff done, starting something brand new, continuing something. This is all new beginnings. This is about facing things head on. This is saying, oh, I'm going to go down here and check out what that is. That is about jumping on pretty much, not everything, but being open to different adventures, being open to have different experiences. Okay, and that's what the Page of Wands is all about. It's all about action and being excited about maybe something new that you're learning. Maybe it's a new role, maybe you started a new business, or you have decided to develop something towards your brand, and it's just something brand new and you're excited about it. Being in this energy of adventure is definitely what is going to support you moving forward. So yeah, Virgo, just keep it on and popping because it's positive. Although some of you are in hermit mode, and hermit mode is quite difficult. Tapping in, not allowing this blockage. If you can work on this blockage, take your time to try and connect. It's not a sprint, okay? You take your time. You dip your feet into the water first. For those who are nervous about spirituality and what it really means, whether or not it's this hocus pocus kind of energy. But take your time. And all you have to start with is just breathing and being in full gratitude of your breath. Be thankful that you're breathing. It just starts with that. Then you can start to ask questions and start asking divine to show themselves to you. Ask your ancestors to show up. Things that you've got out of or overcome, possible penny pinching, hoarding, and also excessive spending. Possibly being a bit of a bully, wanting things to go all your way, being a bit too cutthroat. Maybe you're moving away from that, or somebody who has that kind of energy because you realize it's counterproductive, but you're moving away or have moved out of this behavior, or moved away from somebody who is behaving like this, possibly through the hermit mode. And then the Queen of Pentacles, if you've moved away from it and it's something that you've overcome, then maybe it was in the reverse what she can be, which is quite manipulative. She's more or less, quite manipulative, but I would say a bit of a micromanager. So that can be a lot for people to deal with. So maybe you've realized that I'm doing the most. I need to calm down. So 6 of Pentacles, charitable giving, wanting to invest in people, wanting to understand who deserves your time, effort, money, etc., etc., etc. And then we have the moon card, which is all about the emotions, the dreams, the intuition, the gut feelings. Yeah, not being immersed with the emotions so much so that you're not able to see the full picture and you're just letting it sweep you away. So the first step to feeling better or to being your better self is to not allow the emotions to engulf you. Okay. Rather, use your willpower and determination for your goals as the ammunition and the motivation that you need to move forward. Okay, and last but not least, take that action with the Page of Wands. Wands is action. That is starting something brand new, jumping up. And whether or not it's brand new, maybe it's an old idea, but you're having a new spin on what you're going to do with it. Or you started a new project and you said, well, I'm going to change my letterhead, or I'm going to change my logo, or I'm going to change all of those things, you know. So it's a blessing, just how amazing things can work out. So that is you, lovely, lovely Virgos. All is well. Just stick at it. Everything is going to be just fine. Okay, everything is going to be just fine. You're moving away from things, but I feel like this blockage, get back to, if you are somebody who is quite spiritual, get back to that connection. And for those who are on the fence about what that truly means or how to connect, just start off by giving thanks for your breath, and just being grateful for what you have within you and what you can see and what you can feel and what you can touch and what you can smell, and, you know, all of those things, and taste, you know, be thankful for all of those senses. That's the best way to start. And then you can start asking finer questions and asking for higher dimensional beings to interconnect with you and help you along your journey. So yes, my lovely, lovely Virgos, take care and we'll speak soon. Blessings.